Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to Waffles the Good Boy, Bonefeather, Cagelocke, Green Division, hosted by me, ProPokeNoob. Hello. Hope you guys had a wonderful New Year's. Hope you guys have been enjoying the start of 2021, and I hope that you completely expected me not to show up before my vacation. I hope you didn't. I wasn't supposed to be here, but I am here because I am helping. I am running the Green Division for this tournament, and this is Week 1's recap. I'm going to take you through the rules and show you guys what you could be expecting for the next 8 weeks from players in this tournament. This tournament is a Nuzlocke tournament through a modified Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green game called Good Boy Green, where you get to play as a dog. It's cool. Waffle Sprite, actually. And what they are doing is they are nuzlocking. They have 2.5 hours per checkpoint with each gym leader, where they must grind, collect, and fight and win to prepare their rosters for 1v1 cage matches until the end, when everyone has finished the games, where they will be entered into a 6v6 tournament, where we will be joined by the other two divisions of this tournament. And they will battle to see who will become I guess the goodest boy, the best boy. I don't know what we're calling the champion, so I'm just going with the best boy. I think that's the best way to do it. I'm going to be showing you some of the statistics. The cage matches are 1v1 matches. They must use any Pokemon that they have caught with some level adjustments. I believe it's level 15 and then added by 5 levels per gym leader. But the loser of these matches lose their Pokemon in the Nuzlocke. There are also multiple rules and implications if they do end up losing their Nuzlocke throughout this tournament. I'm not going to go into those for you. I'm just going to go through the statistics, and I'm going to go through the 1v1 matches that we have today, and we're going to have fun with it. This will be done about every Saturday. We might change up days depending on my schedule when we come back in a couple of weeks, and we will talk a little bit more about that at the conclusion of today's show. So make sure you stay around if you want to hear stuff that's going on my channel, but this is not the focus right now. Our focus is Waffle's channel. Each Pokemon can only enter a cage match once. So, for example, if they use their starter, that starter cannot fight in the 7 subsequent cage matches. They must choose different Pokemon on their team. I don't know if there's any other information you need to know. My voice is definitely not ready for this yet. I'm kind of surprised. Gamer, Link, Prudent, Happy New Year. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I'm trying to think what else you guys might need to know. I don't know. I don't actually know. No, that's pretty straightforward. The 2.5 hours does matter quite a bit. They must finish, I believe, on getting the gym badge. So the balancing act is taking the Pokemon, grinding them to acquire certain levels, while also simultaneously trying to get a good team to beat the Nuzlocke as well as the cage matches, because you will be seeded based on your performance within the cage match, as well as you want to keep your Pokemon alive. You don't want a super thin roster when it comes to the 6v6 at the end of the cage match bracket. On top of that, the IVs and EVs are being calculated thanks to PokeLink, an on-screen tracking app that helps you track your Pokemon from Gen 1 to 8, except screw Gen 2. That's Jez's words, not mine. But they will be using exact IVs and EVs, so these calculations will become considered when it comes down to the official calculations we'll be getting to the final matches. So some of these can matter. Matchups will not look the same, as some might have better EVs and IVs than others. And that type of planning has to be balanced out along with the catching, as well as completing the actual ROM. So let's just get into it, because frankly, I don't want to miss the Super Meat Boy on GDQ. I may or not have it open. Okay, here we go. Look, I'm a simple man. I'm on vacation. Rules don't apply the same here. Okay, let's take a look at this. So, our 8 participants that we're going to be following for the next 8 weeks as well as into the tournament is going to be That Duck, Craig Stev, Joe, Code Warlock, the Chris Man 15, Scrubby Nubby Doo, Zika Foos, and Lost Crusader, or LC 93. These 8 players have played through to a couple of checkpoints. We'll be covering 1 checkpoint per week. As a result, this is going to be the checkpoint where we are going to be looking towards the Brock checkpoints, so by the time that they have finished Brock, that is the end of the run. As you can see, everybody almost finished on time. Joe took a little bit of extra time. Based on the rosters, that's what I'm going to be doing my rankings on. There is going to be a ranking done every week. Of course, these are subjective, and I mean, frankly, it's a nuzlocke. Anything can happen. My rankings are going to be done based on two things. One, the strength of the roster to complete the nuzlocke, and two, the strength of the Pokemon that they pick out of the pool to try and get the highest percentage chance to win within Cagelocks, just in general, right? Because a lot of this is going to matter with varied up EVs and IVs. There are a lot of considerations that can be made, although it's Pokemon, it's pretty straightforward, so it's not too much of a concern. However, there are a lot of implications depending on what part of the run and the race you're talking about, because levels are going to matter for the purposes of the access to TMs as well as level up moves. So let's just go down the list, take a look at what people could be playing with today. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at their statistics. We are then going to go into the 1v1 matches, which are going to take me a total of 1 minute. And then we're going to talk about the rankings, and then we're done. Easy, simple, super straightforward. Going to give you like the ESPN, the sports ticker thing at the bottom. Make it super nice, easy for you guys. Here we go. Is my camera inverted? I can't tell. Nonetheless, that duck packing a pretty good team here. Apparently got destroyed by a Rattata, but Bulbasaur, Rattata, Pidgey, Caterpie. Oh no, the Rattata's dead. Bulbasaur, Pidgey, Caterpie, Weedle, Lickitung, and Mankey. A fairly solid team, actually. Mankey is going to be one of your stronger Pokemon to see probably through the first few gyms, considering that the thing gets access to Stab, Karate Chop, high crit chance. It's basically a base 75 attack, unless it was not that strong. Either way, it's still a good stab move. Crits can help a lot with getting some cheeky kills in 1v1 cage matches. Lickitung, also a very thick Pokemon. Not too sure about its moveset. I don't think it gets that good early on, but it is a nice Pokemon to try and stall stuff out with. The combination of Lick and Wrap can whittle it down to next to nothing, depending on the items that they give it. They can go from there. Craigstev having a couple of unfortunate losses in the runs. I believe it was a double reset, if I recall correctly. But a Mankey, Pikachu, Pidgey, Eevee. Oh no, sorry. Mankey's dead and Bulbasaur is dead. So really the team is, I think, Pikachu, Pidgey, and Eevee, and I think that's it. Kind of restricted. I don't actually remember what Craig has in the 1v1s. I have them all set up. I don't remember what he's bringing. But I know Craig has been struggling quite a bit. I was actually in a couple of the streams where we were seeing the runs kind of burn down in flames. Not to his own fault. Nuzlocks are tough, but it becomes very, very risky. I think he's actually carrying a Mr. Mime into the second checkpoint, which should be very, very interesting. But nonetheless, we'll see how the first week goes. Of course, sometimes you might just have to let RNG take the wheel, and you're going to be losing a lot of your Pokemon, and maybe just losing a couple of matches in the beginning. But I do suspect around the third checkpoint to Lieutenant Surge, once you have access to Cut, you have access to a plethora of areas that you could try and rush through and then go back and beat Surge. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks, because there's a few routing implications that can be done. And then once you get to the fourth batch, whew, fourth and fifth, once you get to fifth, it's wide open, but that's just a preview into what we're going to be looking at in the next few weeks. Joe running the Kakuna, Rattata, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Eevee, and Caterpie. Not the strongest team. Rattata, of course, being one of those good early game Pokemon. Of course, the only concern is going to be if a lot of people are lucking into Mankey, a lot of people are going to be destroying people with Mankey. Now, having said that, though, having that risk of a Mankey duo matchup, the mirror match, not going to be great depending on who loses the Karate Chop war, because I fully expect Karate Chop to be the only move that anybody should be using, considering there is no access to any ghosts until actually the third checkpoint if you were to run. Actually, no, not even. You would need to... No, I think you could go to Celadon early and grab T, and then go catch a ghost if you wanted to and you live long enough. But your Pokemon's levels aren't restricted. They just get adjusted for the cage matches. Like I said, I think starting at 15 for this first one, and then going up by 5 until the end, wherever that ends up being. But yeah, it is possible to worry about that. But in this particular one, Joe's going to be having probably a harder time trying to bring these Pokemon through and just make them work. Code Warlock with the Squirtle, Mankey, Rattata, Caterpie, Weedle, Eevee, and Spearow. A full roster. Lots of great options here. Again, the Mankey Squirtle is going to be one of your best Pokemon to get you through the game. Speedrun strats as well as just in general. Squirtle happens to be probably the easiest one. Access to Surf makes getting through a Nuzlocke very, very straightforward, especially in a vanilla Nuzlocke. When you're looking at stuff like the Caterpie and Weedle, both these Pokemon can evolve into Pokemon that could get good access to some moves in a 1v1. Butterfree having the status moves. Beedrill, not so much. Once you get Twin Needle, maybe it's going to be okay. It's also just a good throwaway Pokemon. I think one strat that a lot of people may have to consider depending on their matchups for the week and looking at the checkpoints, maybe just having some expendable Pokemon. So having a full roster like what Code Warlock has will be in their best interest, because that means they have a lot of options with how they're going to try and sweep through Pokemon, as well as try and keep themselves alive. The Chrisman 15, which you can't see yet. That's why I have this open. Excellent. The Chrisman 15, Charmander, Mankey, Rattata, Eevee, and Pidgey, I believe. Are they one of the faster ones that finished? I think they are the fastest one to finish their checkpoint. Charmander, Mankey, Rattata, Eevee, and Pidgey. Charmander not being picked up as much. I think a lot of people actually went with Bulbasaur. Oddly enough, Charmander should have a little bit of fun with that, but it's actually a Charmeleon, I should mention. It did evolve, it's just not set in the actual list. But yeah, Charmeleon, Mankey, Rattata, Eevee, Pidgey. Not a lot of great options, but two really strong Pokemon. Charmeleon having access to the Metal Claw, as well as Mankey, just again, one of the strongest Pokemon you're going to find in this early game. Funnily enough, I don't know if this is still a thing or if this was only in the other game, but no Nidorans that we have seen yet picked up here. No, actually nobody has Nidoran in this division. I don't know about the other divisions. I'm a bad host, but I care about the green division. So yeah, no Nidorans, which would be a really nice, basically counter to Mankey, because, well, it's a check because it can still use Scratch, but Nidoran with Horde Attack would really wreck a Mankey, because Mankey is all power and no padding. So, but Chrisman has access to 5 really good Pokemon. Pidgey can evolve into a Pidgeot later. Rattata Eradicate's a very good Pokemon, very flexible, versatile type of Pokemon that can do a lot of damage with Hyper Fang and Quick Attack until access to Geodude in Mount Moon. So that should get him through really well. Scrubby Nubby Doo, going with the Mankey, Lickitung, Rattata, Bulbasaur, Spearow, Caterpie, Eevee, and Pikachu. A ton of Pokemon to look through, a ton of Pokemon to play around with. Of course, Pikachu being one of those good Pokemon. Raichu in the future can become very, 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 very powerful and can offer a lot of just great stab. I believe Thunderbolt is buyable. I think, yeah, Thunderbolt is buyable. It can use stuff on the physical side. It's a good Pokemon. But of course, once again, having the Lickitung for later. And remember, some of these Pokemon can be brought to the 6v6. So as long as the cage match isn't claiming those Pokemon, they're catching more than enough in their roster. This is going to be very good for them, because that's what they're going to need to happen, preparing for the future, as well as just being able to win week after week. Zikafoos with the Rattata, Mankey, Spearow, Lickitung, Pikachu, Eevee, Caterpie, and Weedle. Spearow, again, being another nice Pokemon. Spearow has a lot of attack. If you didn't know, it's got, like, I think, what is it, 100 speed and 90 attack, or the other way around, or something like that. It actually has a lot of power for a bird. Same thing with the Raticate, right? Like, Raticate just carries some good speed, carries some good offensive prowess. Technically, on both sides, it can run a little bit of special moveset because it can learn special moves, but having that Fearow can get you a win here or there, depending on when you plan to use it. I don't know what people are going to be going in strategy-wise, because it looks like they also picked up a Bulbasaur here. It's just not put in their list because they put what they caught and not what their roster was. But, yeah, there should be a fair amount going on here and just trying to make that happen. So we'll see what they pick, but again, having this type of flexibility is going to be fantastic. And then finally, LC93, the Pidgey, Rattata, Spearow, Mankey, Pikachu, Weedle, and Caterpie. Just having a nice ragtag group of Pokemon to play around with. It looks like the Weedle actually evolved into a Kakuna, so that's going to be really good for them and just going on from there. So I think that's going to be awesome, and I look forward to seeing what these matches are going to look like, because, again, it's going to be a lot of early game Pokemon. We don't know what they're going to be using per se. It looks like that Bulbasaur actually became an Ivysaur and the Caterpie was a Metapod up here. I didn't mention that with Duck. I don't think there's much else to tell you. Let's just take a look at the matches. The matches themselves, like I said, will be very, 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 very short. I don't expect more than 3 turns in most matchups. There might be other turns that will be a little bit longer, depending if you get like a Mankey v Bulbasaur matchup or stuff like that. But honestly, I don't see much more of this becoming any more than just the stronger Pokemon. The matchups, I think the matchups are also done blind. There's no going into it because it's a 1v1. You just kind of throw it in there, see what lives, see what doesn't, and you go from there. Now, of course, you guys are watching this and going, I have no idea what's going on. That's okay. That's why I exist. I will give you all the information that you need, and we will get you through this. No problem. And, of course, I've brought some of the best music with me today, brought to you by OC Remix. Because I didn't know the music, I gotta figure out what music I'm gonna be doing with stuff. But let's get into this. We're gonna be going into the 4 matchups here. That Duck versus the Chrisman is going to be our first matchup of the day we're gonna be watching. It is the Charmeleon versus the Pidgey. I fully expect this to go to Charmeleon's favor because, I mean, why wouldn't it? It just makes sense. This could be a throwaway week for, let me see here. I'm trying to adjust my music here. Perfect. Based on what I'm expecting, it feels like with the matchup between these two, Duck is just throwing it away, actually throwing in a pigeon. That's not a duck. He might just be going for duck Pokemon, but that doesn't exist in Gen 1 unless it's Farfetch'd, I think, nonetheless. This one's going to go really quickly. I expect Charmeleon to just go for something like Metal Claw or the Ember. The Sand Attack is going to be used to try and get a cheesy kill here with the Pidgey, but the Ember is going to bring this thing down to 1% as the Gust is used. This is not going to go anywhere unless Charmeleon misses in the next 10 turns, and the answer is no. The Scratch is going to take it out. That is going to be the one going to Chrisman. Chrisman could no longer use the Charmeleon, and the Pidgey is dead for that Duck. Moving on to game number 2 here, we actually have a Butterfree v Beedrill matchup, which I didn't know because it didn't say to evolve fully into that. I guess? I don't know. This is the one that I pulled, so I'm assuming this is the one they were doing. Scrubby W versus Joe Fluff. This is a Butterfree win because Butterfree has Confusion, and this thing only has Quick Attack. Or not Quick Attack, Fury Attack. So we do see the Confusion spammed out here. That makes the most sense. Now, Fury Attack can crit, get 5 hits, stuff like this. But as you can see, the damage is laughable compared to what that Confusion could do safely. It's going to be a 3-hit KO. He actually goes for the heart and basically knows it's over. Joe Fluff is going to be falling. The Beedrill is gone. Honestly, not the biggest loss. That Butterfree, though, getting the win. It does stay for the future. Butterfree can do well. It looks like it actually had Compound Eyes as well, which means that's going to be good for the future because that'll be 91% accurate Sleep Powder should they continue to keep that move on their move set. Next match is actually going to be a Mankey. Okay, so this is literally Karate Chop heaven. Whoever gets the Karate Chop wins. This could be over in 1 round. I expect them both to go for the Karate Chop, as we actually see a low kick fly out here, but that's 68%. That's a lot of damage, but the speed looks like it's gonna matter, as low kick is just more than enough to take them down. So Zikafoos will be able to keep that Mankey for the future. Kari, thank you very much for the 3-month resubscription to continue to be a fellow noob, and Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Embrace the face. No alerts on this one because I think this is being upvoted for something else. So thank you very much, though. Hope you're enjoying yourself. So Lost Crusade, LC losing that Mankey is kind of important because that could be very useful. Pretty much Mankey is good in that first badge, and then it kind of falls off. It can't do much else like anywhere else. However, that Mankey being alive is going to be important because that is a powerhouse found at the end, or at the beginning of the game. So that's going to be good here for Zika. Last one is going to be Code Warlock versus Craig Stev. Now, remember, Craig had a lot of resets, which means this should be very, very interesting with what's going to be happening. Now, this is that one matchup where I expect this to go a little bit longer. In fact, I think with Leech Seed, Bulbasaur should win this, so that'd be a nice cheeky kill here, getting rid of the Mankey, because, again, losing one of those stronger early game Pokemon just means you take out more options for them in the future, and there's not a lot of fighting types in Fire Red and Leaf Green, so taking this thing out would be a bonus. Let's take a look how this goes. Low kick used instantly, not going to be doing a lot because of that poison type, but the Vine Whip's going to be coming out doing a lot of damage. They're both not going to be doing a lot. I'm hoping that this thing got high enough to get Leech Seed. I don't know when it learns, but Vine Whip right now is winning it. The speed, however, is going to put him slightly in lead, but the Sleep Powder is going to be used by the Vital Spirit. It's a Vital Spirit Mankey, which means now he has lost that pressure, but that's a lot of damage coming out with Vine Whip. If he lives it, he does not. And Craig, once again, losing another Pokemon here, having some issues with this. 2 runs gone and a Bulbasaur dead. Bulbasaur can help a lot. It helps you against Lieutenant Surge, believe it or not, because Lieutenant Surge can't really touch you. It helps against the Misty checkpoint. It can help against a lot. It's just a very safe Pokemon, believe it or not. Outside of Blaine and Sabrina, this Pokemon can get you through the game fairly easily, similar to the Squirtle. That's why we're not seeing any Charmanders used except for the Charmeleon, which obviously gets Metal Claw. So catch 22, but nonetheless, Code Warlock will be able to keep his Mankey. So if we take a look at what these implications have for these deaths, I need to remember, hold on, I need to pull these myself here because I don't remember what died. Oops. Okay, we have pools. There we go. Okay, so with these deaths, of course, this will matter more into the future, particularly because we need to see what the... We need to see what's happening with further checkpoints, because nuzlocks can end. People could lose a lot of stuff here. I believe on a reset, they get 1 hour to build their team up again or grind something that is in their box. I can't quite remember all the rules on that. But let's take a look at this. If we were to take a look at the Chrisman, who took out Ducks, a Pidgey, like I said, this is probably a very easy call here. The Rattata, Bulbasaur still alive. Weedle, Mankey. He's still got his Mankey and Lickitung. This could be for a future matchup here. Just trying to keep that safe for anything he does want to win in the future. You don't have to be 8-0 to do well in this tournament, especially with the 6v6. There's that balancing act between keeping your Pokemon alive for the end, as well as trying to get a good seeding. I don't know what exactly a good seeding gives you yet, but that's why I think it's going to be a good one. You're not going to back... Okay, there we go. So, let's see. So we have... Yeah, we had Duck lose the Pidgey, not the biggest deal. We had Joe loses Beedrill. I mean, it's not going to do well against the... It's not going to really do well. It's one of those Pokemon where if it's good, it's there. But otherwise, I don't think it's going to be the biggest deal. I think... He's going to be all right with the rest of the Pokemon he still has left. He has Bulbasaur as well, which means getting through Misty should be okay. I can't remember if the Starmie has Confusion in Fire Red Leaf Green. I need to go look that up. But keeping the Butterfreeze for Scrubby Nubby when he also has access to Compound Eyes is going to be very powerful for him going into future check. Or just going into the 6v6 as well as trying to stay alive in the Nuzlocke. We have LC losing their Mankey. They still have the Pikachu. So, checkpoint 2, good. Not that Mankey was going to do well against checkpoint 2 nonetheless, other than just getting through trainers. I don't think... Yeah, no, even Primeape with... He doesn't get elemental punches. He doesn't learn that much through TMs. So, I mean, other than getting something like submission or cross chop or things like this, which can be good later on. Yeah, it's a loss of one of the few fighting types that are going to be okay in this, especially since... we still don't have a buffed Hitmonchan or things like that in Sabrina or in Saffron City, considering that it's still based on typings, not based on if it's actually a physical or special split. They should be okay. I do think that Zika, keeping that Mankey, of course, is going to be powerful because keeping any Pokemon in Nuzlocke is good. And last but not least, Craig losing that Bulbasaur. I don't know what his run looks like right now, but if he lost his starter with this and then he wipes a third time in Misty, I don't know exactly how he's going to be able to approach this. But losing anything like this, this is the way that I see this type of tournament. If you're losing your Pokemon, you've already lost runs, and you're losing even more by like through the Cagelocks, you're going to be heavily punished, because then the chances of you spending your time on grinding stuff up is going to be mitigated, and also then you have that risk of not finishing checkpoints, which I believe does something negative. I think not finishing a checkpoint. Not finishing a checkpoint. There's a lot of rules in this. Not finishing a checkpoint. Yes. They can. Your opponent could choose to box someone during your cage battle. So it's essentially like how any Nuzlocke runs. The more you keep, the better it is. The more you lose, the worse it gets, right? It's a spiral either way, and that also means the more cage matches you lose, the less Pokemon you have for your 6v6, which gives you really low chances of having really good Pokemon, unless you get some godlike RNG. catching every fantastic Pokemon on every route and then getting to those later points and getting access to better Pokemon. It's not been looking good, but I mean, I have full expectations that all these trainers, especially after just one checkpoint, can recover the runs. There are backup strats, everything like this. In terms of ranking, if I have to remember what died, if this died, he doesn't have something I can cross off. If Joe's okay, if Joe, wow, did all 4 people here? No, it was this guy down here. It's really hard to rank 8 people. I know how to organize this better next time, by the way. Next week's gonna look a little bit better. But if I had to look at this, I still think because it's that early, first of all, Mankey gives me bonus points in my mark. Also, the more flexibility and the bigger the roster you have, the better it's going to be. So people like Scrubby Nubby Zika Foos, winning their cage match as well as just having good teams are going to be up there. I think also that, what's it called? Where is the, was one of those the, who used the Charmeleon? Chrisman, yeah. Chrisman, I think, just has like 3 really strong Pokemon in Charmeleon, Mankey, and Rattata, which hopefully will evolve and Eradicate and help him get through that second checkpoint. But having this type of flexibility, I mean, even Warlock there, Squirrel and the Mankey still being there. I think like these trainers here, like Scrubby Nubby and Zika Foos, I'm not watching their runs per se, but again, it's every Nuzlocke is pretty much going to play out other than some bad luck here and there. Everything is going to go different directions, but having those roster sizes is going to be the best. And we're going to need to see what strategy people are bringing in here. Some, like we already saw, bringing out the Charmeleon, bringing in the Mankeys. Like, people pretty much had the same idea of bringing in the Mankeys. Only one person really tanked, I would say tanked the first week. I don't know if that's actually true for that Duck's decisions, but knowing that you just kind of want to stall it out and not let stuff affect you is probably their best bet, and then just going on from there is going to be trying to win later on. Maybe just get a good seed rather than the best seed, and that's it. That's literally all there is for this, unless there's something I missed, and Waffles may or may not be here to tell me otherwise. But it's a really fun tournament. Waffle, like I said, this will be going on for 7 more weeks, and then we'll have the 6v6 tournament where I will be joined by the other 2 commentators of the other divisions, and we will be coming together and bringing you that content and running a combined analyst desk, as well as just kind of updating you on how all the runs are going. If you do want to check out the other divisions, Waffles Discord will help you find the other 2 commentators. You can see the schedules. The next week, or week 2's matchups will most likely be shown on this channel again for the Green Division next Saturday. Those might change depending on what the stream schedule looks like after I'm done my 2 weeks off here. And yeah, if you have any questions, please check out twitch.tv/Waffles the Good Boys channel. Ask him. It's as someone who nuzlocks and as someone who races with these things, I can tell you right now, the format allows for a lot of flexibility, allows for a lot of strategy with how you're trying to get your Pokemon in and out, choosing how much you want to win, which sounds weird, but at the same time, you know, acceptable losses is a thing that happens a lot in Pokemon. So keeping that knowledge intact helps quite a bit. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you for week 2 next week, probably Saturday, like I said, but I will announce it in my Discord now that I have an idea on how I want this to look. And yeah, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you for week 2 of the Bonefeather Cagelocke. What? I'm doing this again. Why am I doing this again? Stop doing this. Okay. Hi. So, like I said, I am still on vacation. Officer, thank you much for the contributions to the boost. That boost is not going to be finished, I'm going to tell you right now, unless 14 people randomly show up and start doing this. So just to give you guys an update, when I was talking last year about the tournament stuff, it did start earlier than I expected it. I will not still be regularly streaming next week. We are still planned to return on the 17th or around the 17th. But just to give you guys an update, yeah, this tournament stuff has to start now, so I am starting that. And Happy New Year, Officer, by the way. So, few things that you should know. If you haven't been paying attention to the Discord, you should be, because the Discord is the place where I am showing updates. But let me give you some basics on what we're going to be looking at this year. First things first, you're going to notice there's a giant link that has been added to Shameless, and that is the new archives channel. If you were an avid Twitch archive watcher and you still like to watch my streams after the fact and cannot make it to the live shows, I will no longer be archiving any videos on Twitch. It will be going to YouTube. It's easier, it's safer. I am also on the boat where I just don't believe that Twitch is doing enough to value highlights over just like the original highlights are good. Like they're better just for the archives when they go like after they're live, but keeping them there long term is just, their thing breaks a lot. It annoys me. I'm just gonna throw it up on YouTube, and that way you guys could just go to one channel and find it very easily. It'll be segmented by months now, instead of it being like nuzlocke, unless it's like the Pro Pokeball or stuff like this. It'll be just months and just go from there, so that way you guys can watch day after day. This year's content is going to be very, very wild. There's going to be a lot of variety, a lot of things catching up from Extra Life from 2020 and the likes. I guess, officer, I don't know if it remembers that much raised. I don't know if it lets me hold on to that boost for very long. I thought about that, but I'm like, I don't know if that counts. So either way, yeah, so if you guys haven't subscribed to that channel, make sure you do. Normal content like the new blocks and things like that and other talks will still be going up on my main YouTube channel. That archives channel is explicitly for live streams that you may miss, and it's going to be, everything is going to be thrown up there and organized for you, so don't worry about that too much. In terms of other content from older years going up there, I have decided to only upload the Extra Life, the Pro Pokeballs, and the like to my normal channel. Everything else from here on out will be put onto the new channel. The reason for this, the amount of effort that it already took for me to put it onto the main channel and then have to re-download it and re-upload it, forget it, not happening. Go to my main channel if you want to see older content, but then go to the new channel for anything 2021 and beyond. So, simple as that. No editing, by the way, will be an unedited channel, so you will have to skip through breaks for 2 days. Oh, okay. So basically by next week, if you guys boost right before I come back, that would be interesting. It would remind people that I'm still live, yeah. But yeah, it'll be unedited. However, I will tell you that it will not be the normal 15-minute breaks that you're used to. We are going to try and do some things with the breaks to try and help you with that. It's going to be, it might end up just being longer breaks, but the breaks will be a little more active. And I'm not going to tell you how. You could just go off that and see what you think you could figure out is going to be happening on breaks now. Because I don't want to spoil too many things. I want to save the stuff for the live content when we come back. The other thing I do want to talk about, my 6 years on Twitch is coming up on the 20th. We will most likely have the celebration, though, on the 24th, which is a Sunday, because I'm thinking of bringing a conglomerate of the content that I want to do this year onto that celebratory day, so you guys can see maybe a few randomizers that we're going to be doing, like a little bit of time here and there for the randomizers. Dipping into some of the challenges, maybe. We'll see what we're going to do with it. I don't know what I'm going to do. All I do know is that the actual streamiversary day, I have work, so I can't do what I want to do all on that day, and I'm not waking up at 6 a.m. to do that. So we'll save it for the Sunday, still do a long day with it, and just kind of show off everything that's going to be happening. So, that's fair, officer, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Also, if you're in the Discord, make sure you check out, I did announce the new tournament that's going to be happening. The multi-gen tournament is aimed to be started in February, probably early February, so make sure you're paying attention to that. This will also be a format to a future Pro Pokeball that we're going to be also running this year, so make sure you pay attention to those rules, and I will be posting more stuff as time goes on. But it's looking good. I think I may have figured out the semantics to make the tournament work. And it's going to have a little bit more polishing before I release it to you and just go from there. So, yeah, it's neat. It's going to be good. I'm really, really looking forward to running these tournaments again. And I think, like, the multiple tournaments that were happening throughout the year were great. But now we have a Pro Pokeball. I don't know how frequent those will be. So if you're looking to do multiple tournaments, we will have that one tournament, but it'll be very accessible to players of all skill levels. So make sure you're taking a look at that in there as well. because I'm also going to be busy with a couple other tournaments that I still can't talk about, one of them being Waffles. That is the tournament we started today, and we'll be going for the next few weeks. And then there are a couple of others that are, yeah. So, there's that. What else do I want to tell you about? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I can tell you about now. No. They're not, officer. My cat is being a good boy right now for some reason. Yeah, there's nothing else I could really tell you. I've just been trying to figure out how to fix some graphics up. I am going to be changing a little bit of the format of the overlays to give PokeLink a little more attention and just kind of clean up some of the screens to get some information off the overlays. But yeah, no, it's been a very simple thing. I still have to work out why Extra Life is not letting me use my name. Like, it let me sign up with my name, but I cannot use my custom URL for some reason. So I'm waiting for a response. So I'm going to give them another week or so because I know it just came off break. So I might have to ask in their Discord or just send them another email going, hey, I really need to know this because it's kind of weird that I signed up with my name, but then somebody is using my name, unless it bugged out from the 2020 URL using my name, which I can't gain access to again. So I'm hoping to get that cleared up so I don't have to, because I mean, like, it's not a big deal. An Extra Life link is an Extra Life link, but I don't want it to not show my name because it has shown my name, and that does matter a bit because, you know, it's admittedly is partially advertising, but it's also, if I have access to use my name, why wouldn't I use my name, right? So maybe just clean that stuff up, trying to organize some of the content that happens here. Like I said, the stuff that we are going to be starting with is we are going to have that Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced Nuzlocke, as well as trying to figure out what Gamma's and Broken are going to be doing for the three-way Soul Link. I still have to get actually my capture card corrected here. I don't know why it's lagging so hard, but yeah, it's just been organizing and trying to figure that stuff out. So nothing too complicated today. Like I said, today and next Saturday. No, I don't need that anymore, no. Today and next Saturday, just simply the Bonefeather Cagelocke. No more than like 20 minutes, 30 minutes that I said. There might be more to talk about, but there's not really much to talk about at the moment. So it's mostly just to give a recap and go from there. So thank you very much for coming out today. I hope you guys are having a great time. Take care. What's been my favorite moments from AGDQ? There are a lot, man. They've been doing very, very well this year. I want to watch this 106% Super Meat Boy, so I don't want to stay online. I want to, like, I've actually been, I didn't know this. I thought this was any percent. They changed to 106% at some point. But, like, the Celeste run with the, like, Golden Sun, first of all, fantastic. I always love the combination of, like, I don't watch Plexa very often, but I love Bowie as a commentator. So it's always good to get their commentary with it. Platinum was interesting. I mean, Platinum's not my, like Gen 4 is not my favorite one to watch. It's very slow. The manipulation is very interesting, but, like I was saying in Discord, I was getting a little tilted. They had a lot of information incorrect about battle mechanics. I'm just like, mistakes can happen, but this feels like, this is more of mistakes, man. They missed a lot. Watcher, good to see you, man. Happy New Year. But yeah, the, like, you know, like the Blacktastic and stuff like that. Like I was watching that right before I came online. But it's been a very good year. The one thing that I like the most about these AGDQs online, I was talking about this with Fedora and some other people. Yes, it sucks that there's no audience, and yes, sometimes the audience gets a little obnoxious for me, but that's just me. The one thing that I do like is with the online format, it just allows for better run. I'm just gonna say it. It allows for better runners. I'm not bashing NA runners. I'm not bashing only people who can only make it out to LA or wherever they do these runs, Minnesota or Mississippi or whatever. But the thing I like the most is we have a variety of runners, and some of the best runners are in other countries, and they can't just make it to AGDQ or SGDQ all the time. This opens up more variety of games. Like, there's been, like, I'm looking at the schedule going, wow, I don't recognize a lot of these games. That sucks. But then I thought about myself, I'm like, that sucks, but it doesn't suck because now I'm just watching a bunch of variety we usually wouldn't watch. So I find that the quality, yes, I know, officer. That's why I'm trying to explain and get out. But I trust me. I know. So yeah, I've just liked that there's been a lot more variety, a lot more representation, and the interactive audience is a phenomenal idea. I think they should just keep that even when they do have a live audience again. But yeah. Like I've enjoyed the commentary this year. I think the players are or the runners are just not so. I don't care about the information or their fun or stuff like that. I feel like we found a lot more fun people, and it just so happens that a lot of these runners we wouldn't see on a regular basis because a lot of them are online and from things like ESA and GSA and ESA and GSA are separate or something like that. But yeah, basically like we have a lot of runners that you generally wouldn't see, and I feel like they're just better entertainers. That's generally how it goes though, right? That's like a lot of tournaments I watch too. You tend to find like NA casters are the best, but like EU players and personalities seem to have just a lot more that they do. So I've really been enjoying the personalities from EU and just from around the world, and I think a lot more people are comfortable because they're at home too, right? Some people, like, you know, obviously a lot of them have said, you know, we miss the audience and stuff like that, and frankly, yeah, I agree, missing the audience sucks, but it's just been good. Well, they kind of have it, officer. I feel like with the interactive stuff, they did quite a bit. I don't know how long they worked on it for, but in my head, if they were going to go that far, if they wanted to follow all of the jokes, like they have, what do they have? They have clap, time. There is a channel that you could watch just the interactive chat along with everybody else, right? You don't have to watch the main GDQ channel. They have one. They're just not advertising it. That's the thing. Like, I had to look it up. So I'm kind of surprised that's not going through, unless it is going through their list of commands and I'm just not seeing it. But yeah, like that type of stuff, I guess because it doesn't have an emote, it's not showing up. But I mean, like the lamp thing is just something Orb I think is there too. I don't quite remember, but like it's a very good idea, and I hope they develop it out further. I don't want them to dump that once they get the live audience. I feel like they can adjust the overlay even just a little bit to have it somewhere, or have that online channel, that online interactive chat channel, along with GDQ again. And then that way, if people want to be a part of the audience without actually being able to go to the live audience, they could go along with that. And then people, I mean, they could show that at GDQ too, and people could clap along with the channel or stuff like that, right? You know what's going to happen. The next live event, people are going to bring like lampshades and stuff like that to emulate that. So I hope that happens, right? Because not every meme out of GDQ is obnoxious to me. I hate Orb. I hate, like, hype gets weird at times, but I mean, it's fine. I'm not gonna bash hype. I love hype, just in general, right? Events should be exciting and fun. You shouldn't be crapping on people. I just find certain things very obnoxious, personally. But I'm a canned hype. It's hype inside, but I'm not gonna be like dancing all over the place. So. But yeah, no, I think they've done a very good job this year. This one in particular, like obviously SGDQ kind of caught off guard, so they're trying to make the best they could. But this one has definitely hit the mark, I think, and they've found a lot better people to do it. I'm not bashing runners of old or stuff like that. I'm not trying to start beef or anything like that. I just think that a lot more people have that energy now that we've been in quarantine for so long. They've hit the stride that makes it a lot better, and I've been enjoying this, you know. It's been a fun viewing experience, for sure. And I mean, the tech crew is killing it, right? They've been managing it quite a bit with all the stuff that they have to worry about. Like they are doing a very, very good job. So, yeah. I've been enjoying this GDQ for sure. I enjoy most GDQs. I think like the last one I didn't enjoy was HDQ 2019 or 2020. I can't remember. There was one that I just didn't like because I didn't find I think it was like SGDQ 2019, where I didn't find the quality of racers. Like, it doesn't have to be the best racers either, but like the quality of the commentary with the play. You know, if there's people who are, you can't stop them, but if they're self-deprecating non-stop, it's just like, okay, we understand you're feeling nervous and the couch isn't helping you. Like, you want them to help them, but not everybody thinks that way, right? Yes, of course, officer. Oh, for sure. Oh, 100%. They should be practicing anyways, right? Not many people. You can't tell me that that runners practice talking in front of an audience, or not practice talking on their streams, or they're not doing practice offline or online anyways. So, it's just a matter of them being comfortable because they're still using their own technology, which helps. Like, you're not having to use, like, you can tell when someone says, like, I had to use someone else's controller or keyboard. Even if a keyboard is the exact same keyboard, the feel of the buttons, you get used to it, right? Like, if somebody has my exact same keyboard and I go use theirs and it's cleaner or it hasn't been used as much, like, you feel it. So that's more than enough to make people feel uncomfortable. So the only difference here is they're not talking in front of an audience, which helps a lot of people. But yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Tech. I mean, the tech crew. There's still some tech things are messing up, but I mean, that's understandable. It's tech, right? Tech just likes to explode sometimes, so it's by no means anything they have to worry about. They're doing a fantastic job. Everybody is doing a very fantastic job at this event. The runners, like I said, like the show itself, run very smoothly. Everything is fine. You know, it stayed consistent with my expectations of GDQ, except it has smashed it out of the water because the quality of the runners, in my opinion, both like entertainment-wise, I don't care about runner-wise, but entertainment-wise, way more entertaining. So I like that a lot. So yeah, there's not really much more to say about that. Bingo got some updates. Actually, I did find the new Bingo updates to Crystal and Emerald. They put out a new Emerald Speed Choice and Crystal Speed Choice, and they put out like the more current rule or goal sets that they're using. So we'll be practicing a lot of that as well. So basically, like, you could expect to see a lot of speed running and a lot of newer gen Nuzlocks probably this year. Now that we can do a lot more Gen 6 and 7, and we've kind of figured out what the rules are going to be like, we're also going to be practicing those speed runs, like those mini speed runs of the racing format. I really want to get that going and make that happen. So there's a lot to do. I have to write a lot down. A lot. I have to write a lot down. And some things might get axed, right? Like, I just saw Deep Rock Galactus coming out with a new update. Risk of Rain 2 is coming out with a huge free update on March, and then they're putting, or in March, and then quarter 4 of this year, they're putting out paid DLC to add an enormous amount of content, like multiple new survivors, new areas, bosses, items. Like, it's very interesting, and it's a game that I agree with paying money into and not just being like, well, where's my paid DLC? I already paid for the game, right? Like, this is actually a game that I'm surprised didn't have paid DLC because it's that good. So I'm really looking forward to that and trying that out. Because again, you don't have to win in that game to like it. It's a matter of just like, the game is so clean to play no matter what. I've been very much enjoying One Step from Eden, and what? It's in the bag there. That duffel bag is filled with all my tech stuff. Or all the old games. Why?
Just wondering if you still need it.
The box?
Yeah. No. The actual game?
Oh, I'm gonna keep it. It's not broken.
The box.
You get a whole bunch of your stuff. A whole bunch of boxes of your stuff. I don't know what you mean.
I mean, if I still have all the consoles and stuff like that. Not that I'm gonna, like, the only thing I'd do is sell it off.
Everything is currently there's spooky.
That's going up.
No, it's the same. Consoles in that bed.
But yeah, game-wise, I picked up Star Renegades. Haven't tried it yet, but I've been playing a little bit of One Step from Eden. Like I said, it's Slay the Spire meets Mega Man Battle Network. That's literally my favorite type of strategy game. So I've been enjoying that quite a bit. I'm going to try and bring that to stream a little bit, even a little bit. Do a run or two on the anniversary. Just go from there. It's great. So, how you doing, Anna? Good to see you. Happy New Year. I'm actually just about to head offline. So, I'm not supposed to be live for too long. I really do want to watch this Super Meat Boy run. But like I said, you guys can find me on Discord. Most likely live next Saturday again to do week 2 of Waffles Bonefeather Cagelocke. And yeah, thank you very much for coming out. Good to see everybody coming in. And I'm looking forward to Persona 4 Golden. Nice. Glad you're enjoying it. You can talk to Gam about that. He's a huge fan of Persona. But yeah, good to see you. Happy New Year. And I'm looking forward to what's going to be happening in 2021 on this channel. Once I figure out what Extra Life things happen, what's happening with my Extra Life link, it's going to be even better. But yeah, thank you much for coming out, guys. We will, yeah. You guys enjoy. I'm not hosting. We're just going to leave it as such. AGQ is going to take over, and we'll see you on Discord, or we'll see you on social media or stuff like that. So take care. Enjoy. Stay safe. I hate this. I got to stop doing this. Peace. That's better. Waving is nice. I like to wave. Take care, everybody.